This is your Tinder pro. Do you see the balloon? Come here. The balloon says 2.
Yeah, it says 20 for 21.
No, it's 2 because you're gonna act like a 2-year-old. And give me the phone.
No,
give me the phone.
You bought it for me.
No, I'm breaking up with you.
No, you're not.
This is my way of showing you.
We're not breaking up.
This is my way of showing you.
We're not breaking up.
It is my way of showing you.
This is mine now.
I got you.
Stop, Jesse! Stop!
Oh my god.
Jesse, stop!
Social media has become one of the biggest reasons for divorce. We've got a video for you here today from the Modern King. Let's jump into it.
This is what happened, guys. When you decide to go stay with your baby daddy, you decide to go and start with your baby daddy. You decide to be interested in your baby daddy. This is what you get involved with. This is what you get to do. You get to pick up all your shit. You get to go live back with them again. That's where this is. How do you like that? Yep. You have fun with that. You got a lot of to take care of.
This guy is not messing around. The second she got with her child's father, her stuff was on the porch, which is all you can do at that point. Honestly, I think this dude made the correct decision here.
This is what you need to do when you come home from work. Just like I do every other night, okay? I know he's going to say, well, you should be cooking every night because I pay the bills. But guess what? When you're done, you're going to clean all those dishes in that sink. Because they're not going to do themselves. And I damn sure ain't going to do them. Not after the day that I had staying home.
This woman is making her husband, that just worked a 12-hour shift, cook and clean the dishes and is recording him, taunting him as he's doing it.
What that woman is doing is quite literally spousal abuse. She's humiliating him, insulting him, and treating him like crap. The guy is so broken that he just does it to keep what little piece he can scrounge around. And the disturbing part is how many women will cheer on this kind of stuff.
Am I the only one that's like this? When my husband is sick, he's been puking all night. Even if he has a cold, for some reason, the rage inside me is such a fiery rage.
Your husband being sick makes you rage? He's been throwing up all night and you have this fiery rage pointed at him. Okay, let's continue.
Makes me so angry. It's so ridiculous that it makes me so angry.
These wives are as evil as they are stupid, honestly. They record themselves talking about how enraged they are when their husbands get sick, then they post it to the internet, and then they have no problem telling the planet about how much she hates her husband and assumes the guy will just never see it and be fine with it.
So he's been puking all night, so I slept on the couch because he like moans and groans. He's like noisy when he's sick.
He's sick, so.
And I'm gonna try and be a good wife today. I'm gonna try and get him some medicine. I think maybe it makes me so mad because if I'm sick, like I still like do my thing. Like I'm still a mom. I still have stuff I have to do. If I'm like super sick, I'll like stay in bed, obviously, if I can't even function.
This wife clearly hates her husband. The guy is extremely sick right now. He's so ill that he's quite literally in pain and can't stop vomiting. He needs bed rest, but she's enraged with him because when she has a head cold, she still has to work. But she's trying to be a good wife by maybe getting him medicine to help him. This is ridiculous.
But like,
you literally, out your mouth, just said that when you're super sick, you obviously stay in bed. That is what you just said out of your mouth in this same exact video. And is him throwing up all night not considered super sick? Not throwing up one time. You didn't say he threw up in the morning, that morning of, and then been, you know what I'm saying, he ain't thrown up since. Out your mouth in the middle of the night that what you just said, instead of sleeping, he's been throwing up all night. That's what you said. And you're gonna try to be a good wife and get him some medicine. Oh, y'all sure do know how to pick them. Man, you done gave her a ring? Ew. Like, ew. Forget being like a good wife. You're a bad person. Like, you're just a terrible person. I don't understand why he would choose to give you a ring. Like, ew.
It doesn't matter what she said because she's the type of woman who expects her husband to work, produce, and provide. And if he's sick, he's not working and doing things for her. And if he's not doing things for her, she's expected to pick up the slack. And that enrages her to the point where she blames the guy for getting sick.
I'm sorry, but maybe I'm missing something. Why exactly is chivalry dead? I don't see two damsels in distress that are in dire need of a big, strong man to come get them out of a situation that they have no hope of escaping. Or am I wrong? Because it seems that in this case, no matter what the men would do, they're going to be wrong anyway. They're wrong if they don't help two fully capable women with their vehicles, but I also have a feeling that those men would be in the wrong if they actually came over to help those women.
It's quite simple what these women want. They want the attention and help from men, but they also don't want to actually do the hard work of installing some jumper cables. They say chivalry is dead because they're expected to do things that people have been doing without complaint for years.
Because what exactly are they wanting? A man to overlook the situation and tell them that they did a good job? Because then he might be accused of mansplaining, or even worse, of harassing two perfectly strong, capable women. But yeah, I don't think that chivalry is dead. I think that some women are finally able to take care of themselves, and they don't like it.
Modern women have rigged the game so that men are damned if they do and damned if they don't, and it's set up so that regardless of the situation or the context, men are always to blame. This is why men don't bother anymore. There's simply no point.
Morgan Wallen, you have 10 minutes to respond to this message before I go and walk down the aisle. It's not too late. Let me know.
You make this video right before you get married? Now, if you don't understand, this is Morgan Wallen, famous country singer, whatever. This woman right here thought it would be a good idea to send a message, one last message, to Morgan Wallen, saying, hey, if you see this, I'm yours if you give me before I walk down the aisle. What? Now some people are going to say, hey, this is a joke. This is a joke. What kind of joke is that?
If it is a joke, it is a half joke. If Morgan were to walk into her dressing room and agree to marry her, she would totally leave her man at the aisle. But she wants to play it off as something silly. But there is nothing funny about publicly displaying how much you hate your fiancé.
Imagine I'm getting married, right, to my wife. And then I post a video on TikTok and say, hey, Kylie Jenner, right? This is your last chance before I walk down the aisle. So if you still want this, slide now, you got 10 minutes. Imagine you being my wife and seeing that. Right. The question I have, if Morgan Wallen responded in those 10 minutes, would she have stopped the wedding?
Modern women pretty much view celebrities as gods. They follow everything they post. They take what they say when it comes to politics, medicine, and health as gospel, and all they want to do is bask in their glory. It's frightening how cult-like these women actually are.
All right, here are some ways I have accidentally insulted my wife. The other day, she wanted ice cream, and the kids wanted ice cream, and so I said I would take everyone to get ice cream. And when we got there and it was my turn to order, I said I didn't want ice cream because I didn't want ice cream. That was very rude. Next time I will get ice cream, even though I don't want ice cream.
A lot of these wives just want things to complain about, so it's not that surprising how the husband didn't want ice cream, but she ripped into him anyway because not wanting ice cream is somehow a slight against her character, even though she got what she wanted.
The other day, it was like a Thursday night, and she asked me if I was drinking. And I said, no, I don't feel like it. And she had a bottle of wine in her hand. And that was the wrong move. Even though I didn't want to drink, I should have known that I should have drank. The other day, we were talking about our house and some house projects. And I told her it was not a good financial decision to put an addition onto our house that we just built 2 years ago. Even though we don't have the money or the time or the bandwidth to do it, I should have just said yes.
It makes no sense why they should add in another addition onto their house unless they were expecting more children. She just wants a bigger house for the sake of having a bigger house, and when her dreams were brought to reality, she blamed her husband.
The other night she said, I don't feel like cooking, so I said, let's go out to eat. But that was rude because she has already planned our groceries for the week, so I shouldn't have tried to solve that problem. I disagreed with her the other day. That's my fault. I shouldn't have done that. The other day, she was in her bra and underwear, and I said, God, you look good. And that was rude because she said, yeah, well, my face looks like a corpse. And I should have known that she wasn't feeling her makeup that day. So my bad. The other day, I talked to her, but she was overstimulated, even though there was no noise. So I should have known that that wasn't the right time to talk. I can get better at that.
It's really sad how modern marriages have pretty much devolved into an infinite minefield where no matter where the man steps, something is going to explode. And even though the wife laid out the mines, it's always the husband's fault for stepping on them, apparently.
Hey, why are you touching my stuff? You shake your That's harassment. What are you doing? That's harassment. Why are you don't touch me? Don't touch me. Christ is Lord. Jesus Christ. Anybody with ears to hear, and anybody with eyes to see, Jesus Christ has come so that you may have. Jesus Christ love you, died on the cross for you and for me. That's what we got to Jesus Christ is like, look at this. These are the fruits of Satan, guys.
That is quite literally SA against a street preacher. The man isn't causing anybody any harm, and she's being cheered on for doing this crap. Modern women have been encouraged to do some of the most ridiculous things imaginable, and it's led to this trashy behavior, sometimes worse.
And I decided that I was going to tell him that I wanted a divorce. I texted my therapist, our marriage counselor, and I was like, I need to tell him that I want a divorce, but I want to do it in a session so that there's like a mediator present. I walked in knowing that I was going to ask for a divorce. And so we sit down in our session. It's like really tense, really awkward. My ex was sitting there like, so why do we have an emergency session? Therapist was like, Jamie, do you want to start? And I just started crying and I was like, I want a divorce. I want a divorce.
She didn't want a mediator for this. She wanted an audience that would instantly side with her and give her all of the sympathy and attention for the momentous occasion of quitting on her marriage.
He sat there quiet. I'm sitting next to him crying. He didn't move. He didn't look at me. He didn't react at all. He just was stone cold. And eventually our therapist was like, would you like to respond? So he responded right away. And he's like, fine, let's just go ahead and finalize the details. And that was that. And I just was like, I looked at my therapist and I was just like kind of stunned. Like I knew that I was ready to leave that day, but I couldn't believe that that was his reaction. There was no empathy. There was no compassion. There was no like wanting to fight for us, which I didn't think that there would be, but you know, you just always hope that like one last try, you know?
There it is right there. She wanted to hurt this man. She wanted him to beg and give her some validation, but it's clear that this man had been broken for a long time and he was just ready to be done. She just assumed that she had him wrapped around her finger and she was completely wrong. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Click this video that's up on the screen now if you want to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.